Hey, what's going on, y'all? Tania B here. So this video is going to be on boundaries, okay? It wasn't like I've never actually had set boundaries like that in my relationship, which is probably why all type of havoc was happening. And my partners, they didn't set no boundaries except one. All right, now fast forward from the other relationships that were like abusive verbally, mentally, on both sides. Like I was the initiator a lot of the times, and then sometimes they were the initiator. But I'm morely focused on me being the aggressor versus stuff that I have dealt with in my relationships with the other people. I'm just focused more on taking responsibility on how I was responding and how I was reacting and certain things that I was doing in my relationships. So boundaries, and so I've learned boundaries because my partner had put boundaries up with us, and this was the first time that I had someone who did that. And so in the beginning of the relationship, of course, like how most unions are, it's very lovely, like, oh my God, because we're in the honeymoon phase. Our honeymoon phase didn't really last that long. My mentor once told me that the honeymoon phase typically lasts from 2 weeks to 2 years. And I feel like ours maybe lasted maybe 3 weeks, maybe a month, if I'm being generous. Now, that relationship was very intense. It was very, it has its ups and downs like most relationships, but it was still toxic overall. Okay. And when it came to being in a relationship with her, um, I was the initiator when it came to, I guess, physical violence and, even like verbal abuse as well. And it wasn't until really like the half of the relationship is when all of a sudden, like, I just stopped putting my hands on her, and because I didn't want to act like that, and I really wanted that relationship to work, that something just happened inside of me where I couldn't, I just could not mentally act in those ways no more. And so of course, I still had some moments in me, not more so physical, but maybe some words out my mouth, that probably wasn't too appropriate. Um, but it wasn't until the second part of the relationship where all of a sudden, I don't know what happened with my partner, but she just gained like an enormous amount of self-respect for herself, confidence within herself, and she wouldn't take that shit no more from me at all. And so during like half of the relationship, I swear it was like a flip where I was basically like the asshole, and then it flipped. Not saying that she was an asshole, but like she would not take my shit anymore, and like it literally had straightened me up based on her boundaries that she had started to place within herself in our relationship. And I remember one time when we was living in Vegas, that they had actually made a list. Like I remember they came home one day, and well, I mean I came home one day and they told me that they had made a list or whatever, and that I need to follow this list or she's walking out. And this was a few years ago or whatever. And I remember some of the things that was on the list, and it was some things saying like, what did it say? It was like, um, if you start slamming doors, or she was like, then I'm not talking to you for 24 hours. Then we're not talking about this situation for 24 hours. She said, if you raise your voice at me, she said, we're done. We're not talking about nothing no more, and don't talk to me, for like 24 hours. She said something like, if she said no comparing. She said, I'm not going to tolerate you comparing yourself with my past lovers or anything like that. I'm not tolerating that. She also writ like, if you do not pay your side of the rent, you got 30 days to get out. That was another thing. And it was just, different stuff like that. And like when I read it, like I knew like she was for real, like I better not raise my voice, stop with my comparisons and stuff. So I used to compare myself all the time. I'll probably do a video about that as well. And raising my voice, like slamming doors and stuff like that. Because like I said, I wasn't like physically hitting, even though at that time now, like she would probably just wild out on me, and I wouldn't hit back because I felt that shit, this is part of my karma anyway from it. So let me just let this stuff just play out now. Let me just let my karma just start playing out now, blah blah blah, and let me just deal with it. And I didn't want to put my hands on it no more. And so it wasn't until then that they had started to put boundaries up that I really started to listen, and that by her putting boundaries up, it somehow weirdly made me gain more self-respect for my own self, because that's what they were emitting. They were emitting self-respect. And so by me seeing that in self-love, like they began to appreciate themselves more. They began to hold themselves at a higher standard, and they began to show self-love with themselves. So by me seeing it, I chose to allow that to have an effect on me in a more positive way. And I wanted to say that out there, for people who may be, in some type of like abusive relationship. If you are on the side of, getting abused, or you on the side of being the abuser, there needs to be boundaries. When it comes, but loving boundaries, kind boundaries, but boundaries where you will just not tolerate. Like if something happened, and have to stick to it. You know what I'm saying? Like the thing is, I think I tried to like one time that I can remember. I tried to like one time with her to see like when it came to like I think I had like raised my voice or something like that, and straight up, she was just like looked at me, and she just gave me that look, and like she just left off in the other room. And when I was knocking on the door, she just told me to like basically leave her the fuck alone, okay? And I did that because she is a very unique one. I would say that much. Um, and she kept it. She held her ground. And by me seeing that, I was just like, wow. That made me respect them even more. That made me admire them even more. That they would stand up for themselves. You know what I'm saying? That they would stand up, to me, because I was being like a bully. You know what I'm saying? And so that made me feel good knowing that, wow, okay, that's what I'm talking about. Like it just made me feel good seeing that they had made their boundaries. So I'm not sure if you have boundaries out there and not in your relationship, but maybe that's something that you probably want to implement with your partner. I mean, if you are getting abused, I mean, I would definitely say probably like dip out their relationship. But I mean, me being in abusive relationships on both ends, I definitely know how challenging and how difficult and how hard it can be to just up and leave. I know so many people are like, well, just leave them. Is It can be really challenging. It really, really can. So trust me, I know from personal experience. But the thing is, there is help out there, and I just say, the more that you love yourself, the more that you respect yourself, the more easier it will be for you to leave out the relationship, even if you are the one who are doing the abusing. Like, that just comes from a place of self-hate. And the more that we begin to just love ourselves, it will be a lot more easier to love your partner, because there's no way in heck that you can love yourself fully, like genuinely love yourself, and not express that to other people. So put some boundaries up, y'all. Because they will work. And if people don't, and even outside of intimate relationships, boundaries with people who you work with, boundaries in your families, boundaries with just people who you deal with every day. Sometimes when you carry a certain amount of energy, like a certain vibe about you, people are not going to cross you in that way, because they just know like something in them know like that's not the person to fuck with. So I'm not even just going to do that. But somebody else who probably have like holes in their consciousness, like dark like sadness or super vulnerability when it comes to the case where people can take advantage of it, then people are going to be more prone to overstep your boundaries, especially if you don't have none. Then they really can just take off and show you how you are truly feeling inside, because like I said before, that everybody who comes into our life are literally just a reflection to show us how we're thinking, what we're truly feeling on a microscopic level, on a subconscious level within ourselves. That's what people are here to do. Like, they are our mirrors to show us. And yeah, and so my past lover taught me what it means to have self-respect for yourself, taught me what it means to really love yourself, taught me what it means to walk away from something even if it hurts like hell, but if it's not serving you, to just walk away from it. Okay, put your boundaries up. Make a list of boundaries. If you are in a relationship, or even if you want to get in a relationship, have a set of boundaries within yourself that you know already, and tell this person, tell them, and really stick to your guns when it comes to it. Okay, you got this, you really do. All right, and if you are in an abusive relationship, like I said, I know it can be difficult, but the more you love yourself, the more you'll be able to just really walk away and to trust God that everything will work out perfectly, that the people who will is there to support you in transitioning from that relationship will come. Or if you are an aggressor like how I was, that if you truly start to love yourself and start to appreciate yourself in a genuine way, that you wouldn't even want to put harm on another person, because like they say, hurt people. It's just so true. It's true. But yes, so I just wanted to make that on some boundaries, y'all. Like, let's put these boundaries up for real. And if you are, like I said, if you are on an aggressive side, like how I've mentioned in my other videos, definitely, reach out to me, text me if you're more comfortable with that, or you can just call me directly. Like, I have multiple people, call me directly, and they text me as well, at 248-17B. That's 248-17B. And we can see if we vibe with each other, because, it's just really about nipping this stuff in the bud when it comes to having these really destructive behaviors within yourself, because we can't have that. We cannot continually have this cycle of abuse in relationships. Like, it's not cool. It's not cool, and it's outdated. We don't need this no more. We really don't. So hit me up, and I appreciate everyone who's watching this vid. Definitely hit that subscribe button if you want to watch some more when I upload my newest videos. Hit that like button if you want to. Yeah, y'all, I appreciate you. All right, peace.